And you'll also know about why it got this kind of a look. I actually learned a lot while sculpting a lot of pieces at once. By wrinkles, I mean tiny cracks, overlap of clay, applied a little bit of water. I really wanted a very rough and sketchy kind of illustration. Now, enough yapping, I present to you the entire Strawberry Snugglets collection. Hi there, how are you guys doing? If you're new here, I'm Shay. I'm a clay and miniature artist. So this April, I plan on having a shop drop for my tiny little clay characters. And I wanted to take you through everything that I did and sculpted before the shop launch. As far as the theme is concerned, I'm going to be doing a strawberry themed update this time. That is why each and every characters will be called Strawberry. So basically, everyone will have the name Strawberry in front of their normal name. For example, Coco will be called as Strawberry Coco. It's funny, stupid and cute. The preparation for this update will be a little different for me because I'm planning on making a lot of these clay charms in one go. Like for example, I usually sculpt not more than 3 or 4 characters at one time, but this time I'm planning on going a little crazy with the numbers and maybe I'll try and sculpt 7 or 8 charms at once. I know that sounds ridiculous whenever you're sculpting with cold porcelain clay, because cold porcelain clay, as you guys must know, is similar to air dry clay, so it dries up pretty quickly. So if I do not manage the time properly, the clay charms will end up drying. It is a little scary, but I really wanted to give it a try because I find it so cute when all the polymer clay artists sculpt every single piece together and they put it on a tray and it looks so beautiful. I just wanted to shoot some clips like that. That is the main reason why I'm trying to do so many at once. It is a little risky because maybe everything will turn out well, or maybe I'll end up wasting a bunch of my clay. We'll see how it turns out. I wanted to show you guys some of the prototypes that I already sculpted. That is, every single time I make a bunch or a batch of a particular character, I try and sculpt a small test piece just to get a little idea about how the process is going to be, and maybe in case the first try doesn't turn out well, I can understand or I can take notes about what I want to change in the main batches. So every single one of my character always has a test sculpt done. So I've already sculpted the test pieces for each and every character that I'll be launching this shop drop. So let me just show you. The first one here is Strawberry Coco. This is the desk friend version and here's the keychain version. Both of these tiny froggies are holding a dango, and the desk friend version will have an additional tiny bag attached to it. Because as some of you already know, Coco is the chocolatier of my tiny clay village Whimsyville. So basically she'll have a bunch of chocolates, so she needs a bag to carry them all. Both of their dangos have a tiny little strawberry on top just for them to match the theme a little better. I think for the final pieces of these, I don't plan on having any changes done because these turned out really well. I don't see anything that needs to be changed in them. So these will more or less stay the same. Now that I've shown you guys the test pieces, let's start with sculpting the batches. It's going to be very tough, but it's going to be fun. I have my cold coffee with me. Whenever I plan on sculpting for a long period, I usually have my coffee in this tiny little flask because this keeps the coffee colder for a longer period of time. I do that because I hate it when my coffee is not cold. It just doesn't feel the same. So yeah, grab your favorite drinks, snuggle in and watch me craft.
아침에 눈을 뜨자마자
I like taking small horizontal clips in between my sculpting process so that I can later use them for my reel and other short form content. I mostly use the front camera to shoot these clips. I know it results in a little bad quality, but it anyhow helps me to see what is in the frame and what is not. Is pretty messy. You can't see it because I've hidden it, and I'm gonna show it so that I feel ashamed and clean it the next time. I'm just gonna remove the video slightly from the here because I'm still not aware of what you can and cannot show in a video. Let's just keep it this way. We'll have to clean everything up. Where is my tissue box? Why do I always keep stuff so far away? Always keep a small jar of water next to my sculpting place because it's very handy. I know water can be tricky sometimes because a lot of people have complained of seeing fungus on their clay, but for some reason I've never experienced that. Maybe it's because of the vinegar that I use in my clay. I store it properly kind of, so I've never really faced the issue of fungus or mold. So yeah, I pretty frequently use water for cleaning my setup. I used to use this rubbing alcohol, but then I realized water is as good as that, and I don't want to waste rubbing alcohol because I like using rubbing alcohol while glazing a lot, and they're kind of expensive, so I try using water whenever I can. I couldn't clean the desk last night because I was so tired after sculpting about 4 or 5 hours straight, because weekends are the only time that I get time to do all this stuff apart from my work and all. So that's why I have to push really hard on the weekends. So the days that are usually very calming and for rest for a lot of people are mostly the busiest for me. And that's why I mostly end up canceling a bunch of plans. If I do not finish stuff on weekends and I end up leaving them up, I cannot really do it during the weekdays, obviously. So I'll have to wait for the next weekend. It becomes a cycle and I hate it. I'm a big planner and I always plan everything. I'm a kind of planner you'll hate to hang out with or you'll hate to live with because I literally have a plan for every single day. I know it sounds burdensome sometimes, but it kind of gives me a sense of satisfaction because I've realized lately that I am very fond of routines. I don't know why I rambled about it. Sorry, a bit of unnecessary information while I do this. Every time I do this part just hurts like hell. I do not have a pasta maker or those machines that people use for, the squishing the clay. That is actually very good for conditioning. This is clay conditioning. A lot of people tell me there are cracks. I followed the exact same thing, but there are still cracks. No, you didn't follow the exact same thing. You didn't do it. Did you need it for 10 minutes straight? If you didn't need it for 10 minutes straight, then it wouldn't ever work out and it would never be this. If you do not need it properly, then you'll get cracks. And no one wants cracks. I have to take into account this baby here. Maybe I should stop talking and tune in the music so that I can focus on this. I can't focus on talking as well as sculpting. So sit back and enjoy while I sculpt.
In the morning, when you walk away, my heart drops to the floor. They said it would get easier, but I don't know who for. Days move faster love it never fades. It's easy to make promises for the young and free, but you kept every word you said, and you stayed true to me. We lean into the great beyond. There's more love yet to make. 'Cause some things last forever, but love it never fades.
Moving on, we have Minnie the Baker. This is the Destrin version of her, and this will be our Minnie the Baker keychain. Destrin version has tiny little strawberries on its head and 2 cute ribbons, and the keychain version has a tiny bread with a little whipped cream and strawberry. Again, the final pieces of these two also won't have any changes because I find them perfect the way they are.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Gold hair, gold rings, gold leaves, gold anything, golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Walk up the river by my son. Feet step over splinters.
Next one here is Strawberry Matcha Lady Barbara. I know the name is a little big, but it's strawberry and matcha, so why not? This is the Destrin version, and here is the tiny keychain version. I might make a little changes to these while I'm sculpting the final batches, mostly with respect to the size of their ribbon because they seem a little bigger, or maybe I can just keep it same. I'll decide as and when I sculpt. In case you guys remember, Lady Barbara owns a tiny little tea store in our clay village. That is why I decided to give her a cup of matcha. Some nice drink in her hand is always good. Last update, I guess I had given her a pumpkin spiced hot chocolate, and this time, I don't know, I wanted to go with matcha because recently when I went to Bangalore, I tried matcha for the first time. I kind of fell in love with it, I would say. It is an expensive drink, but it was so worth it. And I've heard the strawberry matchas are pretty famous. That is why I thought matcha would go well with a strawberry update.
I'll follow the golden, golden, golden things. Gold birds, gold string, gold birds, gold anything, golden. I follow only golden, golden. golden thing.
Now last but not the least is our oldest character, Snuggles now. For this update, there will be a Straw Baby version of Snuggle Snouts. This will be Straw Baby Snuggle Snout in keychain version, and this one with 2 tiny paws will be the best friend version. Now another little secret behind these two, the Straw Baby Snuggle Snouts this time are not made from the homemade clay. I will be talking about the exact clay that I used for these two in one of my upcoming vlogs. Now because these are not made from the normal Adair clay that I make at home, the texture and the appearance is very different. This has a more porcelain finish, and you'll also know about why it got this kind of a look when I show you guys the clay in the next vlogs.
There is a life I lead in this city, hurrying to cut my teeth. I can take what I need to get by, it doesn't make it easy. The other piece of my heart moves slow, somewhere in the great unknown. When I return from the afterglow, will you carry me like I am whole again? Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all, I had a feeling but the feeling is all gone. Wait, hold on, put me together, take me back where I belong. I want it all, I had a feeling but the feeling is all gone. The feeling is all gone. The feeling is all gone.
We finally did it. I know you can't see them properly, I'll be showing them to you. The shop is already live, by the way. Everything turned out well. Kind of. There were a few hiccups in between because some of the charms were drying up, but eventually everything turned out well. I actually learned a lot while sculpting a lot of pieces at once. Now because some of them were starting to get those wrinkles when I was rolling them into balls because they were out for a little long. By wrinkles I mean tiny cracks or very slight lines of overlap of clay. What I kind of did was I applied a little bit of water, like I had a small jar of water next to me all the time I was sculpting. I applied a little water on top of those clay charms and I rubbed them for a long time and it ended up smoothing out. So that kind of solved a lot of problems in between. I wouldn't say it was completely easy. There were a few hiccups, like I was a little worried about the shooting part as well as about the sculpting quickly part, because obviously the clay charms will dry up if I don't time everything properly. So it was a little more hectic than my usual sculpting sessions, but that's alright. We were trying to do something new and I'm kind of happy. In fact, I'm kind of very happy with the results because I personally was expecting a lot of clay being wasted, but we successfully didn't waste any. Now enough yapping, I present to you the entire Straw Baby Snugglets collection. Now all of them are the Straw Baby collection, by the way. I decided to sculpt a few of the older characters too, the ones that sold out last shop drop. So apart from these 6 here, the rest of them are all from the Straw Baby collection or the new collection from this shop drop. This looks like a tiny little army of all my snugglets. It's like snugglets assemble. Oops, Coco there is already stumbling. Now I haven't glazed all of them, just a few on the back because I just wanted to check out how they look. I'll mostly glaze these one by one slowly because glazing is usually a very taxing process and I want to be very careful when I do it, so I'll take my own time. Now even though I haven't finished glazing all of these, the shop is still live because I didn't want to postpone it longer. The shop was originally supposed to have the drop on I guess 31st of March, but I had to postpone it to 8th of April because of some health issue, so I didn't want to push it any further, and I think I'll be able to finish these by the time I have to ship the orders. For the website this time I decided to go a little funky and add a tiny little illustration of whimsy, and that is what you will find when you first visit the website. It is a full-on tiny cute little illustration of whimsy, a small representation of our tiny clay village. I was so scared while I was drawing this illustration because I wasn't sure it was going to turn out properly or look well put together, as it had been a long time since I had properly illustrated or drawn something digitally. But I am so happy with how everything turned out. It has everything. It has our tiny Coco's chocolate factory, our Waddle and Whisk bakery by Minnie, then we have the Cafe Whimsy by Americano Snuggle Snouts, this tiny strawberry dairy store here, the Mooberry is handled by Pip, our small helper. This is our witch hut, which is also a post office for Stu the witch. There is a tiny signboard to Whimsyville, and behind it our cozy kettle tea corner, which is handled by Lady Barbara. And next to it is the Whimsy Nook library, handled by Snuggles now. I love how everything turned out. I really didn't expect it to look good. It is a little wonky and not the best, I can understand, for those of you out there who have seen proper illustrations or are good illustrators, but trust me, I really wanted a very rough and sketchy kind of illustration, and this is exactly what I wanted. With that, I wanted to thank every single one of you who stopped by to watch this vlog, and also to everyone out there who checked out the shop, liked the promotional reels. There are a bunch of them I made on Instagram. Thanks a lot for all the support, love, messages and comments, especially on my previous vlog that I got. The previous vlog was a little different from normal studio vlogs because I wanted to talk with you guys. I literally cried my eyes out reading some of the comments. They really made my day. And if any one of you hasn't checked it out, you guys can check it out. It's a tiny podcast style, casual chat kind of a vlog I made while sculpting. I'll see you guys very soon with another vlog where I'll probably be glazing these tiny characters and doing some packing and share a bit more of my process with you guys. I'll see you guys soon. Until then, stay cozy. Bye for now.
A little different than all the rest. I'm quite old-fashioned, wear a hat, sometimes play chess.